What's up, baby? JG603, owner, operator of TSW Wrestling. Too sweet in the house, of course. Former cruiserweight champion of the world. I feel a little empty here today. Not gonna lie, but we have a lot to dive into, of course. Technically over on the YouTube, a little bit since we got the rankings in, so maybe some resets since you saw last. Let's dive on into this thing and check out those rankings, baby. So as always, out the gate, we got some goodbyes, the honorable mentions. First and foremost, of course, Copac. Appreciate your help. Valiant effort in Z-Rock. I love you, Z-Rock. I don't know where you may be. Hopefully the recovery is going well, and I'll see you back on our screens oh so soon. But some goodbyes here, not showing Pat sliding out the rankings after not winning the tag titles. DJ, of course, after the loss against Swanee, and Roldy after losing the mixed tag titles as well. We got Raw sliding out the rankings. We got AJ sliding in after a loss of title matches, though AJ, we saw this last week, might have something a little bit bigger percolating here in TSW, of course, as he is aligned with Wall Street. How dastardly. And talk about dastardly alliances, Meckle Monster sliding out as well. Of course, him and Raw seemed to have some kind of agreement, at least when it came to beating the shit out of Yunka, for lack of a better term. So we'll see how that thing continues to go. And Fenn, rematch for the trios title, but he slid out the rankings only because we'll dive right into these rankings as Rox and Fritzy take up the 2 spots ahead. Again, I'd love to be able to just put a whole faction, a team at 1 spot on the rankings. Alas, we cannot do such a thing. So the congregation there, of course, looking to regain their trios titles. Big rematch coming up against the Chosen Ones in just a few short days now. Of course, Great American Bash, big time show, July 30. Ain't gonna want to miss this one, ladies and gentlemen. We got big time TS2, sweet. Of course, coming out unranked, jumping up the rankings. Sir at his side, big victory, multi-man match contendership for Swanee's Universal title. Big time. It's been a tough slate. It's been the ups, the downs, the all-arounds. It's like you're on a goddamn roller coaster out here, but this is not a roller coaster. This is TSW Wrestling, and you got to get a big win over the dastardly Swanee, who we know is going to be much higher ranked. Talking about someone looking to get a big win this week, we're talking Steph Blue Eyes herself. Of course, former mixed tag champion, but sets her eyes once again on Emma Rose. No distractions at her side. She's going to be locked and loaded this week for that match against Emma. Emma, may the odds forever be in your favor, but I tell you what, this is a tough match indeed. Moving right along up to 21, we've got Claw. Claw's been a fantastic inclusion here in TSW. Intercontinental Champion, defended his strap against Tony successfully. So Claw, big reset here in TSW, potentially an open challenge of his own. He's on a 2-0 streak right now, so excited to see what's next for the man they call Claws. There's been a lot of excitement building around Claw. From Claw to Craigie, of course, Craigie alongside one King LBJ will be challenging for the tag titles after a count out. Dastardly as they may be, in that, Chuck maybe let him fight a little sometimes. But you know what? Cena helped us out, of course, on Saturday, leveling Chuck over. I think we all rooted for that one. We all popped for that. But yeah, absolutely, Craigie LB, fan favorites up against some fellow fan favorites, really, and in the Founding Fathers, although, Landmark has his moments here. But excited to see that tag match. It will be at a high stature, possibly rumored to be the main event of the World War here in TSW for Great American Bash. Cannot wait to see how things shake out there. Moving right along like we're the Muppets, baby. We got Mrs. Stoney and Stonekiss unranked up into the rankings, of course. Mixed tag champions. We'll see if they're in action at the pay-per-view or not, if they do an open challenge, or if they're just kind of holding down the fort and joining the program with the rest of us. We're going to find out very soon. Match announcements certainly will be coming over the next few days. Keep an eye on that. Plus, we like to keep you a little bit on your toes when it comes to these big shows. Bit of a slide back in the rankings, but that tag contendership still stands strong. It's King LBJ, the glorious one himself, the mod god, the fan favorite, beloved. Be he LBJ. Of course, again, count out this week, but big opportunity at pay-per-view. We will make sure it's a big stipulation. There will be no countouts when those two teams face off once again. And will that be it? I believe 135 days will be the day when we get there for Thursday. Is that the day to end on for the Founding Father? We're going to find out, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to find out. When we talk about big streaks coming to an end, we got to talk about vibe here. Of course, I'll only bring in AJ as backup for this matchup, but aims to put an end to the streak of one Yunk. You know, always at a loss for what number we're at. I believe we are at 25-0. 25-0 is the number right now for Yunk. Vibe, Wall Street, on the up and up, on the upswing. Will the stock market crash for the hardcore champion? We're gonna find out. This is a big one. And talk about big, literally does not get bigger than this. We're talking the BMI title. We're talking Prodigy, of course, exploding a ring this last week. Absolutely incredible. Got a rematch because he kind of won, but we can't change the title on that. So it will be Prod, it will be Chad. We're gonna have the triple, quadruple reinforced ring, aka we'll make sure that's not an option. If it happened again, I don't know. I guess they just keep fighting. They just keep destroying rings as we go through the title reign here. But Prodigy looking to win his first gold, not first single, first gold here in TSW. Of course, Chad well versed in the land of carrying gold here. So opportunity, Nox, Prodigy, will you answer, sir? Or are you just gonna ignore it and see if they leave your front door? We're gonna find out. We're gonna find out. And someone that I'm gonna leave behind when we're talking JG603 versus the Clap Daddy Blessed Be. The 603, sir. I tell you what, you looked good. Great match. The Crucifix looked good. DT2 holding down the four-course. Kopak at my back. I wish Z-Rock was out there, but of course, as dastardly as you are, you took out Z-Rock. You knew what you were doing. Putting him through the roof of the cell and then plummeting face first after him. But I digress. I told you it would be the last supper. It would be the last chance. Well, you know, even a broken clock is right twice a day. I took down everybody in my path, and you've caused a little bit of turmoil here for old JG. But Thursday, great American Bash, the nation's capital. You, sir, are gonna suffer some capital punishment when JG is once again the greatest cruiserweight champion in TSW history. We wonder the stipulation. What match we're gonna see? Well, I'm gonna do what Z-Rock couldn't. You, sir, will go through the roof, fall from the heavens down, plummet to hell below. As it is JG, it is Clap. There's no backup, there's no DT, no Kopak, apparently no Z-Rock. What the fuck happened to Hell in a Cell? You versus me, mano-y-mano last time. Because I'm winning that strap. And when I do, I know you should have a rematch clause, but I'll find a way. Just like life finds a way. GG will find a way to keep you out this division. And you're done for, sir. 603 versus Clap. Hell in a Cell. Let's get it, baby. Well, moving right along these rankings, of course, talk about big titles. Big title reigns doesn't get much bigger than the trios titles. Mr. Benjamin hopping unranked into the 13th spot. LeBron, 23, up to the 12th spot here. Of course, we touched on a little bit ago. We'll be defending once again against the Congregation. Of course, rematch clause be damned here. We'll see what the Congregation can do. They've been sliding as of late, of course, losing a tag match, losing backstage brawl. They gotta find their roots again. Does the Congregation, but the Chosen Ones might literally be the Chosen Ones here in TSW, as they have looked phenomenal since winning those straps and truly since forming as a union there. Of course, we'll touch on Animal a little bit later, as you know, he's got some other stuff going on there outside the trios titles. But here outside the top 10, we've got Jen jumping up 3 spots, and we got Nuggy still there at number 10. Of course, undefeated is Nuggy. Jen's been on a hell of a run so far. Of course, they are the women's tag team champions. We'll see if they have an open challenge at pay-per-view, or they just sit back, relax. We'll see how things shake out once we get to the big show, though. But I tell you what, they have been ever so impressive in their division. And I mean, I guess pretty impressive in his division. Messiah Clap, the Clap Daddy, Johnny Clap, Blessed Be, all that stuff turned water into Rogue Energy Code JG603. I don't need to touch on this guy. I think it's pretty clear he's a flash in the pan. He's below me. You know, it took him 18 chances, and I tell you what, it ain't happening again, sir. It ain't happening again. No backup, no shenanigans. You will fall to JG603. Well, no one's here for the clap guy. Nobody. We got Animal here, Mr. Money in the Bank, and of course part of the trio titles. Jumps up one spot here after a big backstage brawl, getting his win back, loss back per se against Big Fritz there. Trios titles, excited to see how that shakes out. We confirmed it will not be another TLC match. It'll be a different stipulation, so we'll see who stands tall in that one, but it's going to be a fun one. Those guys have been brawling these last few weeks. And talk about a big-time brawler in TSW. We're talking Swanee. Jumps up to the 7 spot. Highest spot. I do believe he has been ranked here. Universal Champion will defend against Big Time. We'll double check his title reign, of course, for the pay-per-view, as of course we're going to go back and forth between 2K24 and this game is kind of a pain. But I digress. It's a nice run you got there, closing on a couple months with that belt. So, eyes on you, Swanee. Eyes on you, of course, 73 days. Across 2 reigns for AJ and 77 days for Boxie is the record in this division. Eyes peeled on this matchup now more than ever. Talk about records, talk about the best of the best, the biggest and best. The man who literally exploded a ring last week. We're talking the thickest of cheddar daddy-os, the beloved man of the people. Sometimes drifts towards the tweener, sometimes beautiful babyface, sometimes will just stick his booties so deep you're like, this is the bad guy. This guy's bad. We don't want that. But he is electric, whether in the ring or on the mic. He's got a big matchup with Prodigy. We'll see how things shake out. Of course, this Thursday, super, triple, quadruple enforced ring with adamantium. We pulled it out of Wolverine's bones, and we got this ring settled. Hopefully it's gonna break again, isn't it? I'm gonna break again. Now the top 5. Will we see changes? Because there's been a lot of changes so far. I mean, we had 6 unranked wrestlers jump up. What did the top 5 look like at 5? We've got Emma Rose remaining at the 5 spot, of course, reigning defending women's champion, chipping away at Steph's reign. But I mean, Steph is there ready to do some work here, and all good things must come to an end. It's been an unbelievable reign, longest single title reign in TSW history in that women's locker room. So hats off to you, but I do fear Steph, just like Destiny, has arrived here. And similar to Destiny, we talk about LBJ and Craigie, we talk about Landmark still at 4, and Finn still at 3. The top ranked are the best of the best for a reason, ladies and gentlemen. Dominant, though. Reason to say maybe this upcoming week there will be a shakeup, because for now, reigning tag champions, reigning women's champion, reigning heavyweight champion, and he's got his parking lot attire here on. Of course, shocking attack. We don't know who perpetrated this, but we certainly can gather Boxie might not be available this week on short notice. Sorry, it was on my lap and the trigger pulled. Might not be available on short notice. Beat up, beaten down, and battered. Backstage, locked away in an ambulance, taken to a local medical facility there in Boston. So we're hoping to get an update from Boxie. We're hoping to hear an update today, but from what I hear, and I do hate to say this, but as it currently stands, this mystery attacker has just taken away a heavyweight title match on pay-per-view. Which, for me, and I'm certain the fans, especially with how electric Boxie's been in the ring, it's a little frustrating. It is a little frustrating. Myself, Boxie, we're going to take steps into finding out who did this. We have begun the early process in hiring official security to keep track of not only the backstage area as a whole, but also the major champions, as Boxie certainly has had some tough sledding, you know, of course, as heavyweight champion with the attacks, the antics. And I do feel for you, Boxie. I truly do. So we're going to get to the bottom of this, damn it. I understand back in contact with Special Agent Michaels, so we're hopeful. We're hopeful in the next week or two, at least, we can get a damn answer to this as the heavyweight champion. The people want to see him in action, and as Mr. Man took it away from us. And it, of course, bears worth mentioning if you're out indefinitely or you might not be able to defend. We might have to strip Boxie of the championship, which I would hate to do. Possibly crown an interim heavyweight champion. Truly unprecedented territory here in TSW, guys. But talk about unprecedented, of course, number one with a bullet. It's Big Daddy Yunk. It's the one and only 25-0 reigning defending hardcore champion. Will face Vibe this week. Numbers against him, but Yunk, man, I say this a lot. You line him up, he knocks him back. He has been unbelievable in the ring, throwing people through objects, tables, barricades, as it may be, although he was the one who went through a couple weeks back. But I digress. Yunk, unbelievable. The people wonder, what's next? When does it come to an end? I tell you what, we're not seeing an end in sight with how well this guy has been going in that squared circle. So, hats off to you, Yunk. Hats off to you, TSW Universe. And I appreciate y'all for coming through. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, notification building, activate all that good stuff. And I'll see you next time. Woo! Appreciate you. Y'all been the best. Too sweet. I'll get you next time. Bye.